Touch grass. That's the core advice I'm going to give you to get art inspiration in this video. But if you want some more elaboration and specifics, stick around. People assume inspiration and motivation has to come from inside you all the time. That one day they'll wake up and just feel motivated to create their next piece of art. And if you're struggling with this and you've researched it a whole bunch, you've definitely heard other artists be like, you have to build discipline to work on things when you don't want to. And yeah, I do agree with that for the most part. But I also think it's not healthy to force blood from a stone, or in this case, ideas from an empty brain. All of my best ideas and inspiration has come from outside experiences I've had, whether that's teachers, conversations with friends, or the collective sum of all the art I love. So, we're going to talk about where I find I can reliably get inspiration from my art, and hopefully that helps you as well. By the way, in case you're new around here, I'm Grim, a freelance artist. And as a quick heads up, there's no video next week because I'm on vacation. Also, I might sound a little different because I strained my voice a few days ago. Anyway, on to the main course. Tip number 1, enjoy other art. If you make art and you want other people to look at it, you need to see what people are making and saying with their work. You need to see what your peers are doing. The first time I heard this was actually in Crunchyroll's interview with Mori Calliope back in 2022, talking about what helps her get over writer's block to write music. And part of her answer was this. You cannot just listen to your own music if you want to make something good, unless you're like a prodigy or something. Complete and total originality is not real. Maybe that's a hot take? My comics friends and I talked a lot about this, since occasionally you'll run into a burnt out comic artist who doesn't read comics. If you're not yet in the habit of enjoying things in your chosen medium of art, it's time to start. Use whatever tools you need to build that habit, but just start. If you make comics, read comics in the genre of the ones you're making. If you illustrate, then follow artists who make stuff you admire. If you want to write fantasy, go get a library card and start checking out fantasy books. It matters to do this because, as Mori said in that interview, total originality isn't real. Build on what you see others making, pushing it further, and putting your own spin on the art you see around you. Tip number 2, try other mediums. When I'm feeling uninspired to draw, I pick up my DIY Book Nook kits and start gluing little pieces of wood and paper together. One of my friends writes when they're trying to get themselves to take a break from drawing. If you personally are not sure how to pick up another medium of art, try a tutorial on YouTube or find a local class. Your craft stores host them, fun fact. Speaking of craft stores, you can also take yourself to one with a budget and let yourself pick out whatever you want, even if it's something you think is silly like Shrinky Dinks or paint by number. As long as whatever you pick out is not exactly what you normally do. If you're on a budget, ask a friend to borrow supplies or check local groups to see who's donating things. Hell, you can grab your friends and make a short film at the park with your phone. At the end of the day, picking up other mediums of art will help you start thinking outside of how you normally do about your own creative projects. And in that way, you might get an idea from that other little project you're doing for fun that you can bring into your main work. And tip number 3, do stuff offline. Go to the park. Go to the new cafe that just opened. Go to the work party you're dreading. I know it's hard and scary, and if you need to, do what you can to maximize how comfortable you are. Know when you plan to leave, bring a friend, all that fun stuff. These experiences offline, outside your studio, are important because you cannot spend your entire life just creating. Creativity is a well, and if you draw from it too much, you'll run it dry. If you never take breaks, you'll destroy yourself from overworking. And that's all the tips I have for you about finding inspiration to make art. They've all been helpful to me at one point or another, and I hope that at least one is useful for you. Like I said at the start of this video, they all kind of boil down to touch grass, but in slightly different ways. Anyway, since you're still here, this is the point in the video where I tip my hat to you and ask that if you learned something or enjoyed the video, to drop a like or subscribe in the hat. If you're feeling particularly generous and have the means, feel free to check out my Patreon or VGen below, and consider pledging or ordering a commission. I also will have a new webcomic chapter dropping on my Patreon next month, so that'll be free if you want to read that. Anyway, with that, I will see you in the next video. And as a reminder, that will be in 2 weeks. I'm on vacation next week. Bye-bye! Farewell!